Welcome to the Gene Policini Center, home of the Tigers, where a new season of RIT men's hockey is about to get underway. Good afternoon and welcome to RIT Hockey Media Day here on the RIT Sports Network. Well, last season was a memorable one for the Tigers and their fans. RIT finished with 27 victories, the second most wins in a season during the Division I era. They also captured a second straight AHA regular season title and reached the conference championship game for the first time since 2016. What a scene it was here in this building in front of a sellout crowd back on March 23rd as time expired and the Tigers stormed the ice following a 5-2 victory over American International. RIT captured the Jack Riley Trophy right there for the fourth time in program history and the first since winning back-to-back titles in 2015 and 16. They went on to the NCAA tournament where they saw their season come to an end following a 6-3 loss to Boston University in the regional semifinals in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Happy to be joined as always by Wayne Wilson, who begins his 26th season this season as head coach of the Tigers. How gratifying, first off, for you and your staff and that group that came back to get over the hump and win that fourth AHA championship in program history.
Yeah, good memories watching that, that's for sure. And an exciting moment for our program and the players. And really coming off two really good years where regular seasons were won and then redemption, I guess, so to speak, to win the playoffs and move on to the NCAAs, and very gratifying.
Yeah, you lose some of that championship talent and to graduation and the transfer portal, but you also utilize the portal a little bit to fill holes left by Scarfoni, Wilkie, Laskowski, Hansen, Bucata. How have you done that, and how have you set up this year's team?
Yeah, going to be a little bit different, a little bit unknown. So far, though, we've we're in the midst of our fifth week of practice or preseason practices, and really like what we've got. So you never know. You've got to get a feel for your players, and I think the schedule sets up really well for us with only 3 league games in the month of October, and then a stretch of, I think, 7 of 8 home games down the stretch. So we're going to be able to do some experimenting, get to know our players a little bit more. We've got a lot of players looking forward to new roles on the team and are more than ready for that. I think they felt a little bit pressed down a little bit in the lineup, and with change brings new optimism and a fresh look, and we're excited for the start.
You had some new opportunity for those guys you were talking about as well. Well, this will be the last extra year of eligibility granted by the NCAA due to the coronavirus pandemic, and defenseman Dimitri Microgiannakis is one Tiger who decided to return for a 5th year. Microgiannakis has played a major role for RIT along the blue line the last 4 years. Micro will wear the C this season, as will forwards Tanner Andrew and Grady Hobbs, as we take a look at the captains for the Tigers this year. And Coach, first off, you had 6 captains last year. Caleb Moritz wore the C. The rest of them wore the A. Is this rare to see 3 guys all get the C going into this year?
That's not as rare the 3, but having, I think, as many as 6 guys wear a letter, I think, is a little more unusual. And, that just, I guess, spoke to them as a group, that we had a lot of leadership there, and I think these 3 will be outstanding and know what it takes to win, have been around a while, and are great representatives of not only our team but our school community and so on. So looking forward to see what their leadership will bring us, and they've done a great job so far integrating the new guys and the transfers, as everyone's important to win hockey games, and you've got to get off to a good start, and the more comfortable our new guys are, the better it is for our team to get off to that good start.
You speak of experience and needing that, and you get that with Micro. How important was it to get him back and with all the departures along the blue line, have somebody that's been steady for you and really came on at the end of last season?
Yeah, defensively, he's rock solid. He's a leader back there, penalty killing, blocking shots and all that, and also came up with real timely goals and big moments. So we're looking forward for him to even continue to grow his game. I know 5 years is a long time in one spot, but I think his game will grow, and we're looking forward to seeing where he can take that, along with Grady and Tanner have been in all situations for us, power play, penalty killing, and with their experience, they're also bringing great leadership as well.
You go back to his goal that tied the AHA championship there in the first period when you got down 1-0 to AIC. That seemed to set the tone and settle the guys down on the bench, and you guys kind of took it from there en route to that 3-2 victory. Micro Giannakis has appeared in 122 games over the last 4 seasons while recording 27 points on 7 goals and 20 assists. And the Tiger captain from Aurora, Ontario, joins us now here on Hockey Media Day. First, Dimitri, why did you decide to return for a 5th year here with the Tigers?
I just love it here. I mean, everything about it, the winning culture, great coaching staff, great group of guys, great opportunity. There's nothing I would trade this for. So I'm really grateful that I got that extra year because of the COVID in my freshman year. So I'm looking forward to being here for one more and taking this program one step farther with the group of guys we have.
We were just talking about the captains, yourself included. What does it mean to you to get to wear that C with those other guys?
Yeah, it's definitely nice to be recognized with that letter. Obviously, it doesn't really change much about who I am. I guess the coaches gave the 3 of us that letter because of who we already are. So maybe a little bit more vocal, a little bit more responsibility with it, but just keep being who I am and try to help lead this group of guys. Every guy in that locker room is a leader, whether they're a 5th year like me or a freshman coming in or a transfer or whatever the case may be. Every guy leads in their own ways. So just trying to be a great teammate and lead when I can and keep helping everybody.
Obviously, the faces in the room have changed a little bit from a year ago. A lot of new pieces in place, as Coach and I have discussed so far here. But tell me why this team can repeat as AHA champs. It's a hard thing to do, but how can you get it done?
Yeah, we got a great core coming back. I mean, you mentioned the guys we lost, but at the end of the day, we have a lot of guys coming back who have gone through the hard times of winning. And, you know, obviously it's joyous to win, but there's a lot of hard that comes before we lift that trophy. You know, I'm getting goosebumps watching that video, but I think back to everything leading up to it, and we got a great core in here that's done it before, and I think we've maintained and even built that culture a little bit further this year in the first weeks of camp here. So I think all the new guys have bought in really well. Everybody's on the same page. And it's really just keep building and growing together as a team. You know, everybody's a family in here, whether it's everybody holds each other accountable, whether it's on the ice, hey, I need you to block a shot, or anything, like out of the rink, hey, can I borrow $5? Like, I know everybody's got each other's backs no matter what the case may be. So we have that culture. We have a great group, and I'm looking forward to running it back this year and going even further.
Yeah, and obviously you'd get those nice rings again. The guys getting the rings back in August for the 2024 AHA Championship. A lot of the new guys just got to look at them. They're hoping to get their own this year. Dimitri, we appreciate your time. Best of luck this season. Best of luck with your first game at St. Lawrence. Thanks so much for your time here today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Coach, we should mention that back in July, the AHA, as we've known it over the years, merged with the CHA, as both the men's and women's hockey programs here at RIT will now be competing in Atlantic Hockey America. Your thoughts on kind of merging the operations from a league standpoint?
Well, I think it makes sense from a league standpoint, and yeah, I don't know if it really makes much of a difference for coaches and players, but I can see from an administrative standpoint, I think to streamline things is the right move to make, as most of the leagues are doing that already, and so we're just following suit with that.
As far as building the reputation of the league, in which you've helped to do, and your program has helped to do over the years, does this help at all? Or?
I think it might.
Yeah.
You know, just for us, we see the growth in our league as coaches collectively, and I think our players do as well. Maybe not as much because they're only here for a shorter period of time, but we got to continue to grow our game and on our campus and so on. And I think that's reflective of knowing our season tickets. I think we broke a record for season tickets this year. Last year, selling out in the playoffs in an hour and a half. Yeah. So all those things are, you know, we're continuing to grow as a program, and we think we've got a good thing here, but it just continues to get better, and that's what we're looking for.
I think we ended up with, 2 or 3 sellouts last year, including that championship game. So the interest has spiked, and the Tigers certainly have performed in getting those fans here in this building. Well, I know you love preseason polls. The preseason poll is out, and RIT has been picked to finish second this season behind Sacred Heart in Atlantic Hockey America. And RIT sophomore forward Matthew Wild also named to the Atlantic Hockey preseason all-conference team. Wild finished his rookie season tied for 5th nationally among first-year players with with 19 goals while tying for 10th among all freshmen with 35 points. He also broke the D1 era record for goals by a Tiger for a first-year player, and of course that was a huge goal in the AHA championship game against AIC, the 3-2 goal there, propelling the Tigers to victory. Talk about Matthew Wild and just his progression, and you talked about unknowns.
Yeah.
That line, obviously you kept them together last year. Is that really the only known you know going into the season, if that makes sense?
We've kept that together
Yeah.
through camp, just because of their chemistry and so on, and particularly early in the year. They're a great line to emulate as far as how we want to practice and play, and they can set a tone with that. And as soon as you put one new guy in, and I assume they know the drills, then my assumption is corrected quickly there. So I think that's a good start for us, and then it's up to them to really continue to pick up where they left off last year. And as we will be moving things around quite a bit, I would say in the month of October, trying to figure out what's best for us and what's best for the players and put them in the best situations. As we learn more, I think we'll continue to grow as a team, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, the trio from Mississauga, Ontario, certainly impressive in their first year. We'll see what they can do in year number 2. Some new faces, as we talked about, in the net this season, too. The Tigers welcome 2 first-years in Jakub Krabacek and Ethan David, as well as Trent Burnham, who RIT grabbed out of the portal from Lindenwood. Burnham appeared in 43 games for the Lions the last 2 seasons. Coach, going in, what can we expect early on? You talked about rotating guys in and out as far as the lineup goes. Does that include goaltenders, or has someone already kind of grabbed that number 1 spot?
Well, I think it will. I think we've got to watch them play live action before we anoint anyone as a number 1. Going into it, we really like the 2 freshmen that were coming in, and then when we lose Tommy, we thought that it would better serve us to find someone with some game experience and some experience to start off. So I guess Trent, in a lot of ways, will serve as that person who will get the nod to get the first game and to probably play some of the bigger games, so to speak. When I say that, it could be not competition-wise. It may be just the environment that they're going into. At least he's got some experience in doing that.
Sure.
But having said all that, we would like to get the other 2 guys in the net as well. And our schedule sets up pretty favorably with 3 league games and the rest non-conference in the month of October. So that'll give us an opportunity to experiment a little bit and see where we go with things.
Yeah, you talk about the schedule. We'll get to that momentarily. At first, I got to ask you, goaltending-wise, you bring in a former goaltender this year to work with that new group. Mike Rotolo on the coaching staff. How beneficial will that be to have him helping those guys out?
Yeah, and we saw the results with Shane as well when he helped us as well. But Mike is still in the area, and I bleeds orange and black, and really wanted to be involved, and we couldn't be happy with that. And as you know, he's a battler, so he's going to teach these guys how to battle. And but it's another voice that they can talk to besides coaches that play defensive forward in the locker room on the technical side. So I think that's just a good sounding board for him, and just the fact that he played here gives that added experience that he can talk to them about, and he'll be great.
Yeah, we look forward to having him back on with us throughout the season as well on Pregame Live. Well, we talked about the schedule, and here we'll take a look at it. 2023 began the same way 2024 will, at St. Lawrence. Then you head over to Clarkson to take on the Knights. Conference play begins the following weekend down in Erie, Pennsylvania against Mercyhurst before the Tigers return to town for Brick City weekend to face coach's alma mater Bowling Green before closing out the month with a pair of non-conference games on home ice against Colgate and a visit to Niagara on random Wednesday, the 30th. For the complete schedule, of course, visit ritathletics.com and the RIT Athletics app. Coach, looking at just that early on schedule, the schedule as a whole, I guess, as well, what do you like about early on?
Well, and the schedules are set up. We don't have a whole lot of say in that. Our non-conference games we do, but even we're doing that 3 years in advance, so we don't know what the team's going to be like. But having said that, the fact that we have a lot of newness to our team, and when I say that, we've only got 3 league games. We're on the road quite a bit, which is fine, and with the non-conference games. I just like how that all sets up. And then really to close out our season, I think we're like 7 of 8 at home when I think our freshmen are no longer freshmen, and we know we'll have a much better idea where everyone fits in, defense partners and who's your number one goalie and forward lines and special teams and things like that. So just accidentally, I think it obviously worked out that way, but I think it sets up well for us.
How much do you like that idea? You mentioned the 4 games right off the bat on the road with a team that is just trying to find its way, maybe getting them away from here and taking them on the road for time together. How does that build things early for this team?
Well, I think it's obviously difficult to play on the road, but I think then your team gets to know each other a little bit better. The focus is with your teammates and not as much with parents and friends and everyone else that wants to come to the game. The pressure of playing in front of a home crowd when it's your first, second, third, fourth game. I think that's all good for us. So I like the way the schedule unfolded, and now it's time to play and learn and find out about our team and just really try and get to that finish line where we did last year. And it's a long year, and there's a lot to learn about our team, but looking forward to finding out about them.
And if the team performs like they have in the past few years, the chance to be home in the playoffs, you talk about that stretch at the end of the year, 7 of 8 at home, plus the playoffs, February and March could be all about the men's hockey team here playing at the GPC. We'll have to see how it all turns out. And, of course, you can all at home watching here, you can be a part of it. Grab your seats or for season seats or individual game tickets for the men's hockey program right now by visiting or calling the Policini Center box office 475-4121 or online anytime, rittickets.com. And, Coach, 4 straight road games. We talked about the difficulty of repeating as champions in this league. You've done it before, 2015, 2016. How hard is that to do?
Well, to refer to what Dimitri had said as well, I think it's the understanding of how hard it is, and sometimes hunger gets you to that point of working hard. So I think this team, different challenges, but just as hungry, I'd say right now, just judging on how we've gone through the preseason. And we want to meet expectations, and we want to do something no other RIT has done, is win 3 straight regular season championships and obviously a playoff to move forward. So this is 2 we've done a couple of times, but 3 is difficult, and we know that, and we're going to see how we react to difficult times as we move along.
Yeah, it should be interesting. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but some exciting news for RIT and the men's hockey program, as the Tigers will be part of the 2025 Friendship 4 tournament in Northern Ireland next season. RIT will be joined by Sacred Heart, Union, and Miami of Ohio in Belfast next November. Games will be held on Friday and Saturday, November 28th and 29th, coming off Thanksgiving weekend. Coach, how does this, 26 years you've been here, how will this rank up in some of the great moments that you've had with this program?
Yeah, no, it'd be exciting. Without a question, we're really thrilled to be invited. It's something that we've been working on trying to get over there. And we've even looked at some preseason things, but it's not the same as in-season competition, and the league was very accommodating and moving our schedule around. I'm not sure what it's going to look like yet, but I know they've had to juggle a few things for it. And it's a great experience for our players, but I'm sure many of the families and hopefully a lot of fans will join us over there as well. Because what a great experience to visit another country and get the bonus to watch your Tigers over there as well. And really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be fun. Again, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but the Tigers will be in Ireland to play a team to be determined in a 2-day tournament in Belfast. We're looking forward to that in November of 2025, but the focus right now is on the opener, October 5th at St. Lawrence. Wayne, best of luck this year, of course, at St. Lawrence to get things started and all year long, and we appreciate you joining us here on Media Day. Thank you for joining us as well here on RIT Hockey Media Day here on the RIT Sports Network.